Hello everyone, my name is AP the Weird One, and we are up to episode 9 of Rock is a Lady's Modesty. It is time for the performance of the band known as Blanc de Noir plus Alpha. That's the band that our lady Tamaki, or Shiro as we're going to be calling her. Yeah, that's the name of the band that she's decided for them, because that's what they were asked for. So yeah, it's time for their big debut. Well, we got a few things to discuss a little bit beforehand. I can talk a little about music. So first off, I'm just gonna probably just call her Shiro. That's her nickname in the band, just to make it a little bit simple. But in terms of chapters of the manga, it covers about 14 through about 18 and a half. So we're busting down through some chapters for this one. And there's a lot, and because there's a lot to impact it, it's a big time performance. But anyway, let's start with the measly bitter ganache in their performances. So they, of course, they come before our Blanc de Noir plus Alpha. They come before Ota's band, and it is Ota's band, by the way, and we'll get into that a little bit. But yeah, so they play a love song. Now, there's nothing wrong with that, as Lisa or Lily points out, but they feel like the melody doesn't mesh well with the fluff. And the reason they choose it is because the garners sympathy from the audience and everything. Get their empathy. It's easy to get noticed if you sing a love song. Now here's the thing though. If you are a rock band, you might want to do take a page out of the band's skillet. I know I'm very familiar with the rock band, but in 2006 they did an album called Comatose, and it's got a few different kind of songs that you can interpret being love songs. The Last Night, Yours to Hold, Better Than Drugs, which basically are kind of all come all in one, as you can see right here. You start off with the Amazing Rebirthing, but you could also do another song like another song that talk about the brokenness of love. Should have when you could have, from the album from 2009, Awake. That's the first album that's the second album I was more familiar with Comatose. I got Comatose plus like one extra song basically at the time. But yeah, so anyway, the song, you get to hear a little bit of the melody. It's okay, but they didn't bring down the house, so to speak. And one of the reasons you can tell is because the band is obviously not super sweaty enough. They're sweaty, but when you see the ladies, when you see see Blanc, they are dripping. And the author must have a sweat factor or something. Nothing wrong with that. But there's another reason. So before they get on the stage, there's this flower, and it's owned by the bar owner, and these two guys, they're looking forward to seeing Ota come on stage. They think she's going to be this pristine, nice white girl. She's never performed or anything. They think she's going to be the sweetness and thing that they're all in their minds. Well, they asked the bartender, why isn't this flower working? Well, I didn't change out the batteries. Well, that you could say that's a bit of a lie, but we'll get back to that. But you can tell straight the performance by this flower, one thing, but also by the sweat. But it's time for Ota's outfit debut, and she is leading the band, and that is, of course, she needs to be there. She is the star of the show, in a manner of speaking. She is the leader of the group in more ways than one. We'll continue with that, but yeah, she's got this flashy outfit. It looks absolutely beautiful. The guys are kind of amazed that she'd wear something like that. She got it from a bass set that from a drummer that she really liked. We don't care about too much about the band. It's a fake band, and the artist is fake. But she did pay. How much did she pay for that? She paid 3 million yen, which translates to about 21,000 here in the USA. So with plus taxes and everything, so it's a very expensive outfit. But yeah, she wanted to wear that was the cream of the crop. Drummer for her. She was very stylish, so she definitely wanted to wear this outfit. Now, before the performance begins, Lisa is in her head, and that's not a good thing. She's worried about, winning the competition. She's worried about impressing Shiro. a lot of things are going through her head, and that's not what she needs to be doing. In fact, because of her desire to win, like her head being the clouds, she starts a little too early. She starts early, no introduction or anything, and she just kind of plays, and it's a bit sloppy. But because this kind of throws off it, when Tina has to start her performance, you could say it throws her off a little bit. Although the biggest problem is her boobs being in their way. That's another reason. And she's kind of getting her head in clouds. Now, Ota, before this begins, she did tell Tina, you gotta start before your cues start, because if you don't, you're never gonna catch up. But she does tell her something a little bit later on, which is if you're struggling, listen for my beats, and I will lead you back. Which is why Ota is the best, because she will guide them. She wants to play and make beautiful music. She wants to create a wonderful melody. So yeah, so she wants Tina to succeed, and that's one part of the playing, is getting Tina up to code, making sure she knows the rhythm. And the next part is Lisa. She started off on a not good note. She playing more fumbling than usual, Shiro points out. So we need to get her in motion. One thing to notice, and I will say this prominently, most passionately, this performance is better than in the manga. It just looks way more beautiful. Now, whether or not you like the 3D performance is up to your situation, but it does look good. They really did put an excellent job into it. It just, you could say it looks a little bit weird, like you would want a little more traditional animation, but hey, the band is actually playing, so hey, we gotta give props where it's due. But when Leah says in her clouds and everything, the scene where she's like in the fog in the forest, it's done exceptionally beautifully. I really love the coloring and everything. It's done really well. So I do want to appreciate that. So once she's figured out, Leah says, she's still worried in her head. She keeps playing because everybody wants to hear Shiro play the guitar. They don't realize that she is meant to be a bassette. Like, that's her true calling, which we'll talk about. But so yeah, she's too worried. But Ota, she while she's on the fire, freaking, like, she's on her mind, like, we're gonna lose, everything's gonna crumble. Ota's just playing the band, la 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 la. She's playing her heart out, like she doesn't care about anything. And kind of going back from episode 1, where Ota was just kind of playing without a care and playing with, like, just pissing her off so much. Well, her playing without a care in this performance pisses Lisa so much that she realizes, hey, I need. It's not about winning or losing. It's about having a good time. The reason we're playing rock music is because we love it, and this is what makes our hearts so on fire. All right, my nose is itchy. So yeah, she starts playing amazingly, and all things are good. Now, of course, Ota, she's the star of the show. She's got to pin down little Lisa a little bit. So this is the scene from the anime. It's pretty a little spicy there, and it's pretty on point with the manga. You could say there's a little bit more drip in the sweat, but that could be due to lighting. But yeah, it's pretty faithful. Then moving on to this wonderful scene. So while these two are just causing absolute chaos, Shiro realizes, okay, I'm the bassette. I gotta get these two monkeys under control. So she lays down with her bassette and she tries to contain them. Like, all right, you guys. And so we have this scene. And I do like the scene a little bit more than the manga because, the coloring and everything. Lisa does have a little bit more shirt ripped upwards in the manga. But what I kind of appreciate Tina's in the background. You can see her visual clear as day. And she is, like, just also worried. So adorable. Little Tina. Well, actually, big Tina. She's a tall woman. So you're just like, oh, she's in the corner, and she's having her heart out. But yeah, and Shiro's like, and I love Shiro's expression for this as well. She's like, all right, you two, can you please take it under control? And of course, these two are no. But yeah, here, the shirt's a little bit more upwards. You can see Lisa's belly, so something to keep in mind. And comes out in English. Um, and of course, we can't forget, Tina, when the music's going and everything, she's having a wonderful time. Her boobs flop in the air. It's a little more dynamic in the manga, but I mean, we still get the boob action. But we do learn a little bit more about Shiro. Shiro, the reason she wanted to play guitar is because she wanted to understand it. Because it is the lead, it's the leader of the group. It's the one that makes things happen. But at true heart, that she is a bassette. And the reason she loves it is because it does produce a good melody, despite being in the rhythm section of everything. But also, it is the key to making sure the band is in control. Like it drives their performance to be greater, but also, it drives the performance great, but also keeps them in check. Like when Ota and Lisa were just about to derail things, she kept them back under control. So, okay, yep, making sure I get everything. But yeah, so we get the performance. It comes together like a splash. It electrifies the stage, and these ladies are sweaty as hell. They have knocked it out. And of course, that flower that we saw at the beginning, it just moves a little bit. The performance was so electrifying. It gave it just a little bit charge. Like the song Mute Math Electrify. It did that for that little bit flower. So overall, fantastic episode. It was very colorful, beautiful. It definitely outshined the manga pretty much every single way, barring one little thing, like we showed, like little Lisa's thing. But we hear the music. It's beautiful. They sing the spirit, frost spirit, or whatever they were preparing for. Frozen spirit. And Leah said remembers what they were training, what they're preparing for, just to have fun and let loose. And I like that call back from episode 1. This Ota is the chaotic nature she is, but also that she is the leader. Through her, Tina can make beautiful music, and she can also remind Lisa why they're playing. So that's why it's why she's the leader. Why it's her band and not Shiro's band, because she doesn't understand that leadership position. But with that, I'll leave you guys next time for episode 10. Definitely go check this episode out on High Dive, or wherever you might want to watch it. Delivers top notch. But anyway, I'll see you guys next time. Hope you have a wonderful day.